Alright guys, welcome back to another video. This one, I haven't been making much update videos because some of the updates are kind of like meh. Like the Halloween event was just all of a sudden dropped on us and it's really not that great. At least in my opinion, and several other of my clanmates don't find it to be really that great. And honestly, most of the stuff I had prepared for fusing for the event isn't even there, so I mean, even materials are all down quite a bit, which sucks because it makes it to the point to where it's not worth selling materials, but it's not worth crafting it because the market currently is so broken in the sense that like legendaries are starting to cost what epic prices are. I mean, Jesus! I mean, look at that. Look how much I bought my wretches for originally, years ago, 8,000. Anyway, guys. So this video is going to be kind of controversial on whether you believe it or not. It's definitely not necessarily opinionated. I do have supporting facts, but I'm kind of going to go over, like, you know, is Crossout a dying console game? Or in a whole, is Crossout just dying? Like, I couldn't even find any exact numbers on PlayStation or Xbox. And I couldn't find, like, exact numbers on Steam for PC. I did find some stuff, but they definitely average a much higher. Anyway, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into that. So, kind of my first supporting evidence is the market on why Crossout is starting to come down and the player base is becoming to die. Because I don't know if these are all Arbiter sales or bids, because I know the Arbiter will put stuff up every now and then. But the market is just dying. I mean, look at legendaries. I don't know what that was. Oh, that was a decoration. When have you ever seen a better time to buy a legendary? 4,000 coin for most of this, which is crazy. And then this is really scary, but if you go all the way to all achievements, sorry, I do have a cold, but you go down to Crossout, and a friend showed me this, so we're on progress and we're on achievements for the game. So if you look right here, first one right here, successfully complete 500 raids. This is pretty scary. 0.17% of gamers unlock this. So what does that tell you? Either people just pay, or raids just aren't worth doing, which is kind of whack, in my opinion. Because, well, I don't know. Raids can be, they can't be. But look at this one. Successfully complete 10 Leviathan raids. 28%. 0.28%. Nobody. Manufacture legendary part, 0.57. Unlock reputation level 30 with engineers, 0.43. None of these are even 10%, except for this one. Reach reputation level 5, which that is not hard. That's basically the tutorial. I mean, it just kind of goes to show you how tough the game is on new players, or just players in general. I mean, I've been playing this game for years now, and I still love Crossout, but I think it's coming to the point to where the player base is collapsing. And really, the elite are the ones sticking around, the people who can make 100,000 coin off of Clan Wars and just tear things up. And if you go over here, so let's see. It's probably not even going to load my article, of course. So this guy says, does anybody know? So I was reading about this the other day because I was having a conversation with my clan about it. It says, does anybody know how many current players Crossout has? And then this guy said he saw a link that said Crossout is almost around 3 million. So I clicked on the link. It brings you to a bunch of spam, and of course there's not anything helpful, and it's also in a different language. This guy says, on Xbox I regularly see the same people in power score groups. Kinda nice since we now know each other, more friendly competition, and immediately know each other's builds. Which I like the surprise, but at the same time, you know, I guess knowing the opponent is good, but not when you have to fight them every single time. You know, win or lose, it still kind of gets old and repetitive. One person I see a lot without naming their GT. While we've never partied up or talked, I've kept a record after realizing I almost always played them. 33 wins, 37 losses on the opposing teams, 61 wins, 18 losses on the same team. He said, I know it's kind of strange, but it makes the game a bit more interesting. And like you said, it does. But this guy, this is 4 years ago, and these numbers are not. I looked at the Steam ones. These numbers are not at all, you know, unrealistic. Because these are pretty accurate. 5,000, I looked at the Steam one, and it's kind of the same thing. Average 30-day is actually less for Steam. This guy says less than 100 players, from what I can tell. Honestly, I would bet that there is less than 2,500 active accounts on Crossout Xbox, just because it's just such a grind. Like, what's this guy say? When there are events like the Christmas Awards, you can look at the leaderboard and get an idea. The only problem is that the 0 points positions is sharing among all. Usually, the number of players who try the game mode at least one time or more than 100k. I don't know what that means. And think the game is mostly played by European or Eastern European. He said, I can tell that it is low Xbox pop, low on Xbox at least, just by looking at the market. The supply is way more than the demand. People that have stopped playing are selling off everything, and people just don't want it because there isn't enough people wanting what people are trying to sell off. Basically, this is just a little thread in regards to how poor the Xbox market is and what these people are finding. And I know I'm not the only one. Like, you'll go into an $8.99 match, and who do you see? Slayers or iFuse. I mean, you go to, say, 14K, who do you see? You see Mexico, Java, all those, you know, top 10, top 20 clans, and they're all running together, and you've got, I don't want to say beach bobs because it's an ARC term, but beach bobs. You have a bunch of random bob players who don't know what they're doing. There's no communication, and you just get whooped every single time, and it's so irritating. You know, not that I have anything against Mexico or any of those top clans. It's just they're good for a reason, and it sucks because they take advantage of all of us players who don't necessarily have people on all the time to play together. And even when you are on together, go ahead and try to beat Mexico. It's just kind of crazy. So, you know, the theory standing on the game is dying. I definitely think Crossout in a whole is kind of dying. I think what they need to do, and not cross-platform in this sense, but cross-platform with PlayStation, mix Xbox and PlayStation. I think that will help the Crossout community because, yes, we'll be playing with PlayStation, but it will also combine the player base in the pool. I know they've been talking about, kind of like, you know, like Gaijin has been talking about cross-platform with PC. Now, if you take a look at War Thunder is their golden nugget, their child. That game has over, like, you know, 60 to 100 to 150 to 200,000 players on it daily. And it's crazy. You know, that game is what Crossout would aspire, essentially, to be. But Crossout just isn't that big of a game because I feel like the community just isn't built to be that big, in a sense. Crossout's community feels small, and it is. Like this one. I honestly don't think that PC should be welcome to cross-platform with Xbox and PlayStation, because if you look at everything else that PC has touched and become cross-platform, it kills every Xbox game that PC touches, because I hate to say it, PC guys, man, so many of them are cheaters. And it's so irritating. Like, I know not all of them are, but it sucks playing with a $500 console versus somebody who's got $5,000 dumped into a PC, which isn't even a lot for a super high-end PC. Or people that have dedicated simulator rigs. Like, if you look, I don't know if this is glitching out, but I looked at it earlier. This is for Steam. Maybe it's not. It's showing that there's 0 active players. Where is this one? Achievement activity. Okay, that's so weird. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this really quick. I clicked into this last time and it showed the monthly activity achievement and new users over time. Now it doesn't show either of these. Probably because it knows I'm making a video on it. No idea what that is. So now it doesn't show anything. But, I mean, honestly, everything I've gone through so many Reddit player accounts. And so many people are like, it's got to be below a certain amount. And I honestly agree. Like this guy says, I typically play around 2 to 5k power score, and at times there seems to be probably 3 to 4 games running at one time, each within a different power score bracket, and you'll wait 3 minutes for a game. If you miss the start of one, which I know what he's talking about, you can't. It says can't comment on the 7 to 11k power scores as I don't play them. But what he's talking about is basically like, say you're playing a game and you get against the same guys like 4 or 5 times over, and then you wait. You say you lose those games and you wait to get into your next game so you can avoid those guys. You're waiting for their game to end, essentially. You're waiting 2 to 3 minutes for their game to end, and then you get back in that queue with those people. And it sucks because we've done the same exact thing. It's like queue sniping. It sucks. Like this guy said, I've been back. I know these threads are old, but they're not at all they're not, I guess, they're definitely accurate in the sense that, like, I've been playing this game for years, and many of my Clan Wars members have been playing this game for years, and they're just like, yeah, I see the same people all the time. But this guy says, I've been back for a month in this game, can already tell you I see a lot of familiar names. Came across the board, match after match. Never had any issues getting into lobbies, but the player base certainly isn't huge. So guys, this guy says, even though it is top 5, the popularity isn't high. PC is more populated than PC, PS4, and Xbox, which is true. But that kind of brings me to, I guess, where I'm at, 11 minutes. So it's not necessarily a rant. It's just kind of like my angle on Crossout as a whole. I think the game is struggling to strive. Yeah, I do, because the game is very hard if you're not, playing the market or playing every day or basically 100%ing the game for what it is, because otherwise you're just struggling. At least that's been my experience with it. Anybody new, I've tried to get into the game, we'll play it for like weeks. Like this one guy, I just read his thread as well. He said he gets new people in and their friends, and they'll play it for a few weeks, and they'll be like, what's the point? The grind is so steep. I mean, you kind of saw it. I mean, look at the achievements. How many people have actually completed those achievements? And it's... I mean, real quick, let's just go down here. Go to the store. Go to games. Go to... free to play. Where's free to play? Can I pass it? Top free games. So we'll go ahead and show all. Crossout is nowhere near the top. So it has 292,000 ratings. Yeah, 292,000 ratings. But if you look at it, a lot of them are not positive ratings. And that's just because the game is so grindy. A lot of these people are just upset because the game is... Yeah, I mean, you can pay to win. It is not pay to win unless you make it pay to win. That's kind of the way I look at it. But like, yeah, I mean, it has a decent rating, but where are these 292,000 people? Maybe the 2,372 people, but not that. Oh no, that's not 292,000. Oh my god. Facepalm. 29,000. No, that is 292. Forgetting my decimal points. Anyway, you have all these people who are rating the game, but nobody's completing the game. Like, people are downloading this game, playing it for like a week, and then deleting it because they're just like, okay, well, it's so expensive to get anywhere. Why would I continue to play this game? I mean, and then anybody who plays the game and talks to like a seasoned player, they're going to be like, well, what I always recommend, and I shouldn't, but I do because it makes the game a hell of a lot easier, is buy one of the packs to start you out, because A, it increases your part limit, you get some starter packs, you get some coin, and you get some parts. And that right there is enough for you to buy a few epic parts, cabins, whatever, through the market, depending on what pack you buy, obviously. Say a 4,000 coin pack. And get you kind of going. But the problem is the game going to hold your interest so you can grind up to a relic status or full fuse garage or stuff like that. And that's the problem that I think the game's having, is the game is very expensive. However, here's the other problem. If they make resources easier to get, it will just make everything even more cheaper. So it's kind of a lose-lose. I mean, everything's already down, as per usual. Which sucks. So I don't know. Gaijin has got themselves definitely some kind of loot. I don't know how they would turn this game around. I mean, I can definitely think of some ideas, but it's tough to say. I'm not a game developer, nor am I a dev community manager, or anything like that. I don't have a promo account or anything, so I can't really say what would make this better, necessarily. I mean, I know what I would do to make it better, but what can Gaijin do to help the player base? You know, maybe give out some more free starter packs, like PC has 3 starter packs or something. I read something that PC has starter packs. So I think that would definitely help if there's some free starter packs with maybe some sinuses or sledgehammers or something to get players off the rip so they're not straight stuck in common and building these goofy long cars that have like 25 common different parts on it. I don't know. It's hard to say. But that's just kind of like my, not necessarily rant, but it's kind of me going over the supportive evidence I found that the game doesn't really currently support a huge player base above, you know, what I would say 2,500 players a day. Easily. Maybe weekends or holiday events, they might have 2,000 to 3,000 players, but right now there's nothing that shows the player base amount. I mean, Gaijin happily advertises it on War Thunder because it breaks the bank. But on a game like this, with the community dwindling, I think if they posted that and showed how well the community was doing, it would probably deter people from playing it even more so. And that's why it's not such an easy number to find. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully we can bring this game around. But who's to say? It's not in my hands. Unfortunately, it is the creator's Gaijin. So we will see. We will see.